Hey, Stiffy. Good evening. Sorry about that. I had to set things up for the night. Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm still doing that. Hang on a moment. Hell yeah, how are we? Yeah. A little bit of the same old for me. Take some pipe fits with y'all. Get a little bit of desk work done. Hell yeah. Hang on a minute for me, though. Let me see. Here we go.
Unknowing residue and finished jet throttle for
Whoa. Pardon that. A little bit too loud, huh? Start off with some of our favorites here. And we're gonna do a little bit more desk work. Yeah. Hey, right on. Right on. Hey, you're putting genuine time into it, though. It's gonna turn out right. Hell yeah. Look forward to seeing when it comes out. That's what's up. Let's see. Shit. I've been taking a break on my work since earlier. But, seeming as how we got a new chapter to the night. Shit. Things are feeling alright. Hell yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up. Let's see. I'll look for some things. Getting some creamer for my coffee. There we go. Would have done it before the sesh, but I wasn't thinking. Booting up was my first priority. Oh. Okay. Sorry about that. I guess it wants to tumble a little bit. Hell yeah. Ah, good to see you on this evening. Yeah. Just a moment for me. Need some more ice in my coffee. There we go. Ice for our coffee. Yeah. Get that booted up for the night, so I got a little bit of caffeine keeping me going. Hell yeah. Ah, I'll be too much of a productive evening for y'all, as I'm about to have here. Oh shit, right on. What up?
Hola!
Hey, Stiffy. Shit, chilling.
That's right. Chilling like a villain.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Just getting some desk work papers set up here as we speak. How about you?
I'm good. I'm working on a new song and I just can't get my sound right and it's pissing me off.
I don't blame that. All part of the fine tuning. Shit. Nah.
I
It'll come out
probably
100%.
created like 8 or 10 different versions of the song and still I'm like, nope.
Hey, that gives you variety to choose from. Shit. I've actually done a lot of my papers the same way. I'll have a concept general idea, but I'll generally make like you said, about 10 different variations of it. I don't blame that. Right on.
Yeah. And I went back and looked and I just realized I have like 3 or 4 other songs that I've already done and they're good, but I've not made videos for them. It's like, what?
Yeah. Hey, it's room for stuff to work with. Shit.
Did Did I tell you I got offered? It's called an AOC, an official artist channel.
No. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm like checking into it. I don't know what that's all about, but all I know is like on my YouTube studio, all of a sudden it was there. And it was like, oh, official artist channel. Like
Hey.
what?
Shit. It kind of reminds me of like the blue check mark that Instagram kind of gives. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. What they say they'll do is they'll take like they'll take my, because I got two channels, right? They'll take those two channels and they'll combine them into an official artist channel. And they will try to, like, somehow they will work out where my subscribers will all subscribe eventually to the official artist channel. But even if they're not subscribed, if I put stuff out on it, it still goes to the other channels for now. Like, I don't know. It's like
Oh,
I
yeah.
ain't into all the YouTube stuff, but it was just like, what?
I didn't even know they could do something like that. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Fuck yeah. Good shit. I just been doing what I always do, getting some work around here with the papers.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Tonight I got up there.
Whatchamacallit going live soon with his what that called, his what is it? It's his karaoke stream. That's it.
G2K?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Shit, I
Yeah.
haven't been over there in a bit.
Yeah, I just noticed like you went live and then like right after that I got a notification that he was going live in like 30 minutes or something.
Shit. That's probably why I didn't get notified, because I haven't been over there in a while. Fuck
Right.
yeah. Fuck yeah.
I was going to go live earlier today, and then everybody was going live, so I like bumped mine till Tuesday.
I don't blame it. Shit.
Plus,
Y'all pretty much always find me up here.
That gives everybody a couple days. I mean, I know it still won't put it out there till 30 minutes before, but if you go to my channel and look, then people will see, and it's like, okay, y'all got 2 days. Show up.
Hey, I feel that. Shit. It gives people something to look forward to during the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I just gotta reel in my drinking.
I don't blame that, fam. Shit.
Because my last two lives, started out good and then they just went like.
Once again, I can't blame that at all.
Shit.
Well, yeah.
You can drink a decent amount and be good and everything's fine. And then you can drink too much.
Also, if you have a certain crowd that likes to get fired up too.
Yeah, and I just know my last two lives, I've drank too much by the time it was over.
Hey, can't blame that shit. I feel it.
It took me a long time to learn how to manage the drinking.
Well, once
I feel
again,
like lately it's gotten out of hand again, so I got to reel that shit back in.
Hey, that happens. Once again, credit to you for noticing that, because usually people just let it fucking spiral, and then they look at it and like, what's going on here?
I noticed it immediately, and it's just like,
fucking props for that.
I don't want to be that person,
None of us do. I don't blame you.
I don't mind getting a good buzz and feeling good, but when I get to that point where I'm just angry and irritated, and nobody likes that person. Nobody likes the mean drunk.
See, here's the thing. At least, for me, it's shown that when I drink, stuff that I already have going on with me becomes worse. So, like manic. I'm going so manic that I just talk to myself in circles. But when I drink, that gets bad. I can have full-blown conversations with myself almost blacked out, not even realizing that this is going on. Yeah.
I just like I hold a lot of shit in, right? Don't say
Don't blame
nothing.
you.
You know, like I keep shit in, I don't say shit. But
I
if
don't
I
blame it.
get to that point of drinking, like I can't stop myself from saying shit.
Hey, I can't blame that shit. Once again, credit to those who notice that and then know how to proceed forward. Shit.
Yeah.
Because usually people will take that and they just keep fucking going on with it until it gets worse and worse and worse and worse, and then not even understand there's an issue.
Yeah, like I can't yeah.
Fucking props to you.
Thanks. Like I even had somebody was like, "Oh, this is becoming like," they were like, what they say, like they said something along the lines that it was becoming almost like it was becoming a habit or a normal thing. And I'm
I
like,
feel
wait,
that.
this has happened twice in like a year, okay?
Oh.
And I know I fucked up. I know I drank too much.
Oh shit.
So I'm telling these I'm telling you, like, I'm gonna cut back on the drinking. I'm not even gonna buy no alcohol for a few days, like,
I don't blame
cause
you.
like I don't like getting stupid.
Well, shit. Once again, power and credit to those that already understand that. 'Cause usually people's problem is they don't even realize that that's a problem.
I know, right?
Oh, yeah. You talk to them, they're like, but this is me.
No,
Ah.
you talk to them, they're like, "What'd I do? What'd I do?" It's like,
Mm, mm.
just
Literally,
go
all
back
common
and
sense
watch
goes out the
your
window.
shit and look at what you did.
So,
My
I've
thing is,
actually,
I know instantly. Like as soon as it's done, I'm like, "Oh my god,
well,
I
how do
just
I
went
say?
way too far."
I've often been compared to that when I've tried to explain to people what's going on with this. I've often been compared to, well, some people do this, yeah, but there's two different paths of that. There's manic and not being able to control it, but then there's past the point where you realize that you have something going on, and then it gets even more intricate, right?
Yeah,
But that's not on me to judge anybody, because once again, I gotta see how that shit gets.
that's I don't know. I don't know. I haven't told you this. You know, I thought for a long time that I was just crazy, right?
I don't blame you.
But I recently found out that I actually have brain damage.
I I don't blame it. I mean, how do I say it? The brain can be a very meticulously behaviored thing. And we usually look at it from a surface level, right? And call bygones bygones when really, once again, the fact of one being able to notice that might not be able to know how to handle it right now, and that's okay. That versus actually noticing something are two different things. So even noticing it's a step forward.
Yeah, like for real, I thought I was crazy. I thought I had all these different, like, you know, like
I mean,
bipolar and like PTSD, and I still may have some PTSD, but like I thought I had all these mental, and I mean it's still mental because it's brain damage, but it's different. You know what I mean? Like
I do.
you
I don't
can't
blame you.
you know, you can't give me a
There's
drug that's gonna make it better.
there's how do I say? There's the chemical imbalances itself, but then there's the thing that causes chemical imbalances, which are a separate issue sometimes.
Well, let me just like I done some stupid shit back in the day that gave me
I don't
brain
blame you.
damage.
I've been there. Really, I think I know what you're talking about. I've been there.
And yeah, I just didn't know. I just thought I was crazy. And I recently was like, "Oh no, I got brain damage." And I've been dealing with it for like 25 years, and people were like, you've been dealing with it for this long and you are recognizing things?"
Yeah.
Like, that's really good.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's doing a workup on your whole psyche, whereas people usually don't even know the beginning of what their psyche looks like.
Yeah, like I'm always self-analyzing. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like, what
there,
makes me do that? What makes me get that way? What makes me, you know, like, why do I do things that I do?
so that I've often thought about that myself. I mean, how do I say? I've had some dark fucking impulses with my personality where I step back and look at it and be like, okay, I know that me in the right mind would have never fucking been like that. So why was I like that? And the mind
Yeah.
just kind of comes up blank. Although people are searching for an answer, the brain just comes up blank. It doesn't fucking know.
Yep.
You know, that's where once again I've tried to not preach, but give out the information to give somebody a little bit more of a mercy. Whereas the actions that define them, let's say, might not always define them.
Right.
If we go condemning somebody by their actions, they'll never have a chance at redemption.
Yeah.
You know? And what kind of world would we be in if we never gave anybody a chance at redemption for the things that they've done?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess I get it where things get dark, but even towards that, still, what kind of person would we be if we judge people for those things? Not, of course, saying those things are okay, but still, we can separate those two.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of us get dark. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, it is what it is, whatever it is. But that's not necessarily who we are.
I mean, I'll be honest. Me speaking very blunt to y'all, at one point in my life, I had sadistic fucking tendencies. Did I want to separate myself from that? Yes. Did I try everything in my power to hold back that in my head and deny it? It separated two different personalities of me. I wanted to be this, whereas my brain felt this.
Yeah.
Although I didn't identify with that. That's not what I wanted to identify with.
Right.
So, yeah, you know, it can get a little bit more nitpicky than just this is how it is blatantly. No, there might be a couple different things going on.
Yeah.
So to that extent, well, how do I say I've pulled back on judging people for that because would I want to be judged for those things? No.
Yeah, that's another. Yeah, that judging, like, no. Like,
I mean,
you gotta
showing
look
somebody.
more at who people are at their core, not who they are, you know, on like social media, or like, who are you at your core? And are you that person on social media? You know,
I mean,
some of us
let's
are, some of us aren't.
let's say for myself, even in person, I might be socially awkward to the extent where I don't know how to have a normal conversation with somebody in person because my brain's usually deflected on a bunch of fucked up shit, to be honest with you. A bunch of fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Where what's, you know, spell some red flags. Do I want to identify with those red flags? No, I'm working every chance I can to change that for the better.
Yeah.
And realizing that something needs to change, does it then make somebody a little bit more mental because then they realize stuff needs to change? Yeah, sometimes. Because then we're not giving into what's going on anymore. We're trying to force it for the better.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Once again, I've grown not to judge people by that. And it's only a droplet in the bucket of what somebody's struggle could be with all that.
Yeah. I try not to judge people, but I mean, you know, we all do it a little bit.
I mean, there's
But
of course.
I still try to stop myself when I catch myself doing it because I'm like, you know, we
How do
all
I
go
say
through
it?
our shit, you know, like,
If, instead of how do I say? Instead of judging the person, judge the actions.
yes,
Whether that makes sense.
yes. No, it totally makes sense. It's like a saying, you know, like, oh, what is that saying? It's like, shit. Basically the same thing you just said. You don't judge somebody on their, like,
Right.
I'm not going to listen to your words. I'm going to watch your actions, basically.
Well, here's the thing. So that can get even a little bit picky choosy. Because when somebody does actions, but yet at the same time they're fighting with redemption, then we're faced with the choice of do these actions define this person, or do their actions not define them by the fact that they're trying to chase redemption?
Well, you know, I think that just is, that depends on the person. You know,
Exactly.
are you actually apologetic for the things you've done? You know, and are you attempting to be better? Are you just apologetic because you think that's what needs to be said, but you're going to continue to do the same things?
Now, I'll be honest. I started from a place where I, how do I say, I've been apologetic in my life just because it needs to be. But then again, that was me teaching myself that that's the right thing to do. That's the right person to be, is to be remorseful, is to be empathetic.
Yeah.
And then from there, I learned, okay, that's the right person to be. Whereas I had no concept of what that felt like in my mind.
But apologies mean nothing without changed behavior.
So that's the next step. Realizing that, and then realizing, okay, now I feel a little bit of war in the psyche because I've realized that's not who needs to be. More so, a better person that needs to be, and that disagrees with all of those things.
Yeah.
It gets a little bit deep war on the psyche, yeah. Oh shit. That's actually some of the things I mentioned.
I think people who sit around and self-analyze themselves are actually better people than the ones who just try to, oh, how do I want to say this? Like, they just tried to be what they think they should be, but they're really not changing anything. You know what I mean?
There's a couple options with that. We could lie to ourselves and be something that we're not all day long and say it's for the worse and it gets worse. And then we deny what we truly are. But then we come to terms with that, even if it is dark. So then once we come to terms with it, we realize, okay, I want to change that. And then we start changing it truly for the better.
Yeah. And that
I
not
mean,
everybody can do that.
and I mean impulsive emotions such as hurting people for fun, just for the fuck of it.
Oh, yeah, no. See, I
I
don't get
mean,
that. I don't get that. If you've ever
eh,
been hurt, I don't understand how you can turn around and hurt others because you know
it's
what that felt like.
it's a morbidity in the mind. It's a reverse. It's not like a normal thought of you are thinking for people rather than you're thinking away from them. You're thinking against them.
Yeah, like I said, it's just one of those things I don't get. Like, if you've
It's
been hurt, how can you turn around and hurt someone in that same manner, knowing how bad that felt? Like,
because
you're
it's
just
twisted.
you're just a POS.
Because it's twisted. It's backwards. Instead of deriving off what's good for people, we derive off of what's the worst for people, and it's a backwards morphology.
It's just, yeah, it's messed up. It's like,
Now, once again, I say that from at one point in time being that person. Yeah, and then realizing that that's an empty fucking rush to chase. It really is. Not only is it not good for people, it's not good for oneself and their own psyche. You gotta be
yeah,
a pretty dark motherfucker to cope with shit like that, and which is even further proof that it's not okay.
we're right. And that's the other thing. A lot of people, like, even if they like see a little bit, they still don't change.
Because
You know, and it's
past
like,
that,
I don't
well,
know. I guess I'm
not sa-
just a good person, and
mm,
I don't understand those who aren't.
how do I say? I myself, I at some point in life, I had to learn literally what the meanings of empathy, remorse, all of that meant. I mean, you want to talk about robotically just going throughout life. When I tell people it was that deep with me, it was. And then having to learn what, even what empathetic towards people mean, even what a good wishing somebody towards a good day meant, instead of
Right.
just saying it, just robotically going about that.
Yeah, see, that's the thing with me. Like, I am extremely, and I always have been, extremely empathetic. Like, I'm what they would call an empath.
Now,
You know,
have I
like,
have I
I
always
always,
expressed
and
to be
that's something I
one?
try to teach people. Like, like, look at, like, if you're going to do something, You need to always look at that as if somebody did that to you, how would you feel? And if you wouldn't feel good about it, then don't do it. Don't do it.
Now, once again, speaking truthful to you, and this is somebody that I hope to fucking bury, a personality that for the likes of me and for the likes of people that I'm around, I killed a long time ago. Because it ain't good to be around anybody with that type of persona. As somebody that felt the very opposite of that. Didn't and wanted to feel that empathy, but couldn't get it to trigger in their head.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I've come across a lot of people that have that, like they have that problem, but I'm just always like, you just got to look at things from the opposite perspective, right? So if I'm going to do something, how would I feel if somebody did that to me? And if I'm going to feel bad about it, then you don't do it. Because if you're going to feel bad about it, then whoever you're doing it to is going to feel bad. So do you want to be that? Like, who wants to be that person?
Well, nobody in their right mind. Which is why I say the other half of the coin, which is if somebody's like that, they're clearly not in the right mind, whether they want to admit it or not.
Yeah.
And that, once again, I say that from experience. Being so psychotically manic that when the clarity lifts and thoughts click the right way, it's enough to knock you on your knees.
Yeah. Hey, BP.
BP, good to see you. Nah.
Yeah, now, don't get me wrong. I mean, I had a point in my life where I was kind of that other person.
But I say it from a personal point of view because y'all know what split personality is, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, truthfully, where somebody has to be in therapy and get help for that shit.
Yeah, yeah. Or they should be. Yeah, yeah.
For the most part, that's why every day I don't want to say much, but I try to instill the feeling of love and kindness towards people because that's also me brainwashing that into my head.
Right. I got you.
Because there's so much darker shit that manically wants to speak out in my mind that ain't no place telling other people.
Oh, I understand.
It ain't good for them.
I really understand.
It ain't good for them, let alone to embody that in one's own mind.
Yeah.
Now, once again, with the 14 brain surgeries and all that, therapists, psychologists, brain surgeons, they don't know the half of what's going on with me. I can only write that down on paper and discuss that with them, which has been my part in what I've been doing.
Right.
If I need to get better from somewhere and that's the one place to start, well, then I want to fucking get better.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I should go see some of those people, but
and
I also do a lot of stuff self, like self-analysis. Like most people, unless they're seeing somebody that helps them do that, they can't do it.
Yeah. Because see, just like this conversation that happened now, unless that these thoughts in this conversation correlated like this, I dare say would I be thinking about these things this way? As much as it flips a switch and blatantly flips a switch, no, sadly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always good to talk to somebody about stuff like this if things like this are going on. I mean, shit, that's.
I wish more people could actually hear it. You know what I mean? Like, I talk to a lot of people about it. Especially, like, every relationship I've ever been in. I've tried to, be like, look, we both fuck up. We both do dumb shit. Okay, but I'm willing to put up and look past your dumb shit. If you're apologizing and trying to make efforts to be better, you also got to be willing to do that for me. And if one or the other is not happening, then we can't continue. Like, and just be good.
I've seen my own family like that. It's not an excuse, but it's reality.
Yeah. We didn't even
I
talk
mean-
about my own family.
I mean, literally, for the most part, it
I
is
was
better than
literally
still.
held hostage Thanksgiving of last year by a family member.
Yeah, I'd argue that some of my family members might be manic enough to try that, although they haven't yet.
Well, this one is apparently, like schizophrenic and blah, blah, blah. And then they didn't want to take their medicine correctly. And next thing I mean, like literally next thing I knew, I was literally being held hostage. I was like this person, the family member's camper was on my land. They had a camper. I have a home. Okay.
Yeah.
And they were in their camper. And we were out there hanging out. And then next thing I knew, they were like, they had done threw shit and it bounced off the wall and hit me in the head. And they had done a bunch of other shit. And I was just like, just let me leave. Just like, all I had to do was walk out and walk a few feet and go in my home. Just let me go home. I don't want to fight with you. Just let me go home.
As shitty as this is
I was
about to
held
sound,
captive for like 12 hours. And I finally got a hold of another family member. It was like, look, somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody is really going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Because,
Ain't no place for that shit.
honestly, I could have killed the person, but I was like just trying to maintain. I don't want to fight, like, because I know when I fight, I black out, like, so I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight.
No,
and yeah,
it ain't
I
good for
finally got a
anybody.
whole family member, and they showed up, and they got me out of there, but it was crazy. It was crazy. It was ridiculous. The last thing that happened before the family members showed up was I wound up, like, I had been sitting in like the little, like, corner, like on the couch, part of in the camper by the table, but I'm stuck in a corner. And I tried to get up several times to leave, and this person had threw a chair at me, and they had shoved me when I wasn't expecting it, and I was just like, the whole time just trying to avoid everything. And the next thing I know, I'm in that corner, and I'm covering my head, trying to cover my head with my hands and my arms, right? And I'm just getting pounded in the head, pounded. And this family member,
I would have went to jail.
They keep saying, quit smiling. Quit motherfucking smiling, bitch.
I don't went to fucking
And in
jail.
my brain, I'm thinking, I've not smiled for the last 7 fucking hours. What are you going on about? But it just didn't say nothing. Now, let that person pound on me.
On both sides of that coin. And sometimes where, let's just say, I had the potential to become that psychotic. On the other hand, I also don't know what it's like to make sense of that type of psychosis. So on both ends, being that way versus dealing with that, I turn myself, to myself when I'm like that, because I don't want anybody else dealing with that type of brunt of that.
Right.
And B, because I know that when I'm like that, ain't no making sense out of me. Ain't no fucking making sense out of me.
I would try to tell this person, like, a lot of different times, like, it was a bunch of different, like, one time it was a dragon outside, and it was, coming to get her, and another time it was a demon, and I'm like, there's nothing out there. I'm like, look, I love you. You know I'm not going to lie to you. There's nothing there. You see and hear things. There's nothing there.
Manic paranoia.
Stop.
I've been that manic paranoid before. I haven't hurt anybody over it, but I've been to the point where it's like, whether you tell me what's going on or not, I want to believe you, but I don't feel like that's what's going on.
I get that. I do, but it's like
I ain't saying it's correct, just at some point what their brain might be thinking.
To me, though, if you got medication that's going to help you not be this way, but you're going to refuse to take the medication, do other bad drugs on top of that, and then go off on me and be like, look, like, chill, like, we're just trying to have a good time, calm down.
I
Everything's cool.
myself can't even have coffee all the time
Just
anymore
let me
because of that
leave.
shit.
Just let me leave. Right? Just let me
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah. At that point, one's got to make terms with the fact that there's what's truthfully going on because of what's mentally going on, and it's all the way around bad.
Yeah. This person even told me at one point, they like opened the way. They was like, leave. Leave. I was like,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. And then they
In
was
those
like,
things,
oh, if you leave, I'm going to follow you wherever you go. If you go in your house, I'm going in there with you. If you go to my
oh god.
mom's, I'm going there with you. Wherever
Oh
you. And so
god.
I just went and sat back down. It was like, well, that was not a win at all.
At that
Let's
point,
just set things down. Let's try to calm things down.
that's the
No,
best you can do. If they
never
don't
happened.
calm down, then make terms of the fact that, look, something psychotic gonna fucking happen if something doesn't calm down.
This person had knives at points that they were holding, big knives. They were
Yeah.
holding right in front of me, and me going, oh, don't do that.
Once
Because I will
again,
kill you. I will take it and I will kill you. And I don't want to do that. Like your family. Like,
what?
I don't even want to be doing none of this. Let's just,
How do I say? I've been on the manic psychosis part of it, end of it, so deep in where I've vented like that off to my own family. And like, you are my family in blood, but in this moment, you don't mean shit. Yeah, it's a dark place to fucking be. It's a dark place to fucking be, and no, it's not okay.
it's a hard thing to deal with.
Yeah, let's say for the person going through it, say they see clarity in their actions. Nobody can cope with that with a sane mind. You just
Yeah.
can't. If you're in a sane mind, you can't cope with those things. So of course they're gonna feel what the fuck they're saying and doing.
Oh, yeah.
Called empathy clicking in.
My thing was it would go from going to kill me to, oh, everything's cool and now we're having fun and everything, we're laughing. Okay, I'm going to leave. And it would immediately just flip again. It was just like, what?
Oh. Ah.
Just stop.
I've seen some situations like that growing up, if I can be honest with y'all. Let's say coping from that behavior back to back to back to back to back to back. And then my family coped with that behavior back to back to back to back to back to back. It's like, no, we gotta nip this shit in the ass where it fucking started with. Yeah. Stop fucking justifying the shit.
Well, as much as I love that family member, I had to make her like, I left my house. I didn't even come around. I stayed with other family for over 2 months from Thanksgiving, which is in November, till nearly the end of January. I stayed away. They couldn't deal with
No,
it anymore. I'd been
I
dealing
don't
with
blame her.
this person for over a year, and it just got, yeah, it
Jeez,
just went too far. It went too far. And then
I feel that.
they were like, "Oh, I'm gonna move my camper, and I'll let you know." And I was like, "Okay," because I had stuff in their camper, right?
Right?
I was like, "Okay, cool." And then I had left one day, and when I came back, the camper was gone along with all my stuff.
Yeah, that
I
sounds
still
like
don't
some
have my
manic
stuff.
bipolar behavior.
Still don't have my stuff, even though within the last week the person has sent me a message and been like, "Oh, I'm still gonna bring you your stuff." Yeah, okay.
How do I say? Very rarely can you trust somebody that is that manic bipolar because their intentions are always switching on a fucking dime.
Well, like I said, hers was more like schizophrenic. Like to see and hear
What?
things that aren't there. Like
What?
she
Once
come
again,
out that day and tried to
I'm
tell the other family member who come to rescue me all this stuff that I was saying. And I was like, I didn't say none of that. None
so
of that came out of my mouth. I
I've
would
actually got
never.
paranoid schizophrenia tendencies.
Yes, yes.
So when I'm having those tendencies and I can be and the paranoia spikes up, then the schizophrenic shit triggers.
Hey, way up, dude.
Well, yeah, dude, good to see you. Shit. No. I'm happy to see y'all hanging out in as good a shape as y'all are. Shit. Because, yeah. Once again, how do I say? One of the reasons why I know I'm one of the last people that would deserve it because of such tendencies sometimes, but why I give other people mercy, because that's the one thing I would at least hope to get back.
Yeah, but see, Johnny, the fact that you are the age you are and you've already figured some of this shit out, you get what I'm saying?
Because I know what awaits for me if I truly give into that.
The person I'm talking about is in their 40s at this point.
Don't get me wrong, I had those impulses, I just don't give into them.
It's like...
That's the only thing that makes me different than that kind of shitbag. It's the fact that I don't give into that shit. And the times I have, I feel sick over it.
Yeah, and that is a huge difference. This person doesn't even acknowledge, they don't acknowledge that they ever did anything wrong. You know what I mean?
You have to learn those emotions. They obviously haven't learned that type of empathy, haven't learned that type of accountability.
Yeah, I know, and it's sad.
I mean, how do I say? Some days it gets with me where some days I totally forget that shit out the fucking window. And do I try to bring myself back to it? Yeah. Some days I have to learn my principles all over again, what it's like to be a human being.
Yeah.
Does it feel different? Yes. Does it not feel normal? No, it doesn't feel normal at all. I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
That's why, Steffi, you probably get what I'm saying when as much as people have been like, no, we get it, things get bad. No, dude, things can get fucking bad. That's not a demon you want to give into.
Yeah.
It's fucking not. It's not for clout. It's not some pump up. No. It's fucking psycho. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah. But see, that's kind of where we are. Like, we both recognize that. You know what I mean?
It's accountability over it instead of letting it get worse.
Exactly. It's all about accountability. It's what I was trying to preach in my last live, even though I was drunk as fuck. I was still preaching accountability. I'm accountable for all the shit I do. I know I fuck up.
That, once again, is where I'm, merciful towards people. If that person already shows accountability in there, you can tell through the way somebody linguates by what they've done, how they feel about it. Well, if that person's already doing that, I'm not going to condemn them anymore because they obviously already feel condemned.
Yeah. The ones
Let alone it's not on me to condemn people.
And don't, recognize it. You know what I mean? And even when you point it out to them and you try to show them proof of it, they still deny it, and you're the problem. It's like, excuse me? What?
So to that. That's where, I don't mean to place this on anybody, but for this man personally, that's where my Christianity comes in hand. That's where it's on me to where I'm human, they're human. I'm not going to bring them any lower than me. That's for the Almighty to just sort out himself.
Well, yeah, but I don't have to put up with it either. And you know what I mean?
Oh, no, that doesn't mean you have to put up with it at all.
Point, it's like, no. I don't have to deal with this anymore.
So that's the thing.
If you can't recognize what you're doing, I just don't have to put up with it.
No. See, that's the thing. Acknowledging that versus not putting up with it are two different things. Usually the world wants to put them in one thing and be like, well, if I don't put up with it, how do I, there are two different facts. You don't have to put up with something, but at the same time be like, I wish well on you and I wish you get better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, exactly. I do wish that. But
so I'd say that's a mercy better than most people give. Usually people are like, oh, that's fucked up with you. That's really fucked up with you. I hope you fucking, die. It's never on me to speak to people like that.
Yeah. No. Oh, no matter what they've done. Up with you, but I hope you get better.
Right. What kind of world would we be if we were just condemning people to be the same morbid monster that they already shown to be? Okay, let's do something nobody's ever done and hope that they get better from what they are.
Yeah. kind of in the world we are in, though. You know,
Of course. Of
because
course.
there's not enough of us that think the way me and you are talking right now.
Well, that's exactly why I'm talking about it, is because all it takes is that snowball effect to push, let's say, a good movement on that, and hopefully push a section of the world for the better, instead of
Yeah,
being the same circle that the world's always been in.
yeah,
It's truly some deep foundations of human life shit.
yeah,
Now, once again, people might look at that, everything I've just said, and be like, well, it's weird that you have, this and this going on because the intellect that you're discussing. Yeah, but once again, I've had to write this in notes. I've had to write this memorized over and over and over again. As much OCD as I am, one of the things that made me OCD is learning that and then memorizing that and then keeping that in my head more than all the morbid shit that might want to flow through my head on a daily basis.
yeah.
Because all that's going to happen with the morbid shit is what? You're going to become an animal yourself. What fulfillment is there in that? Nothing.
No. Kindness is free, motherfuckers.
Literally. That's why when, people are like, well, listen, this is going on. I don't mean to demean that, but it can get so much fucking worse.
Yeah.
It's literally somebody speaking with sociopathic tendencies. It can get so much fucking worse.
Yeah.
To where you don't even know who you are anymore and you want to be better to people.
Yes. And you can get that from brain damage, apparently.
Once again, you're talking about the neurons that travel brain activity back and forth to the brain. That gets scrambled and that gets mishapped. Well,
Yeah.
then those neural pathways are fucked.
Yeah. Way up, dude. You don't need to drink. Just smoke.
Shit. Oh, hang on. Way up, dude. That's another distinction. There's drama, but then there's truly looking out for people's mental health and how deep that gets, which to me are two different things. It's like where everybody thinks that drama is the big stuff, and then the big stuff seems like drama. It's backwards. I'd rather
Yeah.
divulge my brain energy and what I have left on helping somebody get better like this rather than spout off about what is drama, which is the next big thing going on with somebody, which doesn't really amount to much, not to draw a line there. But I mean, if somebody's got an issue with so and so
Man.
over something stupid, that's where I don't start a problem because it can get so much worse than that.
Yeah. There's
Oh,
so
yeah.
many times that people could just apologize. You know?
Well, that's the shit that's drama. Whereas if something's truly a psychosis kind of referendum, that's the mental shit right there.
Yeah, but I'm talking about things that are just like that just happen because of alcohol. Like,
Yeah, depending on somebody's background, can still be an
if
issue.
somebody points that out to you and goes, "Look, right here's the proof," just apologize.
Now that,
You were wrong.
Steffi, and way up, dude. Essentially, what I'm comparing to that is people that do have it so much worse out there. And and like y'all just said, compared to that situation, there's people that literally have the hearing voices in their head and literally are trying to fight that shit every day. And I mean,
Yeah.
literally talking to themselves in manic circles, that type of psychotic. To
Well,
me,
yeah.
that versus drama are two different fucking things.
Yeah.
Two different fucking things.
That's where my OCD lies. My OCD lies in that like overthinking. I take a normal thought and make it so profound, like the NF song.
I've been there a couple of times, where something that starts with a thought, I'm sitting there and I'm manifesting some really dark shit. And it's changing me as I'm doing so. And it's like, dude, whoa, just fucking calm yourself. Because all that just started from an issue. So, of course, we're fucking mental a little bit if that keeps happening. At least with myself. Shit.
Yeah.
That's also why I'm going to therapy.
Also found a new thing recently that really helps. Do you know? Have you ever heard about the vagus nerve?
Yep.
Humans have it, dogs have it. It's called the vagus nerve.
Yep.
I don't know how to reset the dogs, and I wish I did.
Yeah, I
But I
feel it.
learned recently how to reset the human vagus nerve.
Hmm.
And I didn't think it would work. I was like, yeah, sure, whatever, But I tried it. And it's a breathing technique, right? So you breathe
Yeah.
in for a count of 4, you hold for a count of 7, and you breathe out for a count of 8.
Is it
The
similar to Wim Hof?
very first time I attempted it, I felt it. I felt the calmness.
So, if
And I
it's
did
similar
it
to Wim
again.
Hof, I've been practicing Wim Hof for like years now.
What's that?
Mm, mm. Wim Hof breathing patterns.
Yeah, I don't know what that. All I know is this one. It's a 4-7-8. In for 4, hold for 7, out for 8. It resets the vagus nerve,
So,
which
yeah.
calms you. That'll calm you down.
Hell yeah.
I tend to have I go into extreme panic attacks because I overthink things.
Yeah.
And I set myself into this whirlwind of, and now I've learned if I do that breathing technique, when that's if I recognize, because a lot of times that kind of thing happens and I don't recognize it till it's too late. You know what I mean? Like it's happening and like I'm being crazy, and then like 30 minutes later, I'm like, oh my God, that was just me being crazy. A little late. If I recognize it in time and I do the breathing technique, I can bring myself out of it.
But even so, you just said though, there's a point where you realize it, whether or not, however long it takes. I'd say that's the power of it right there. You
Well,
realize, and it sounds like that already makes a change.
it does, but sometimes it's just so like, you know what I mean? It's just like too late.
You know,
Like I
nobody
done
wants to
went
feel that fucking
off.
way or feel that
I
get
done
worse.
said some things I should have never said,
Yeah.
and then I realized, oh wait, that was just
Believe me.
being crazy.
My family, and yes, I say this, test the fucking terms of the word family, has dealt with some dark manifestations out of me where at the end I'm like, I can only hope you realize that wasn't me in my sane mind and I never have meant any of it.
Yeah, thanks way up, dude. Yeah, sorry,
No worries.
but yeah, like, and I know that like the older I get, the more I analyze, the longer I've done things, the
Oh,
better I
sure.
get. But I still have problems. And I
Mhm.
appreciate those who will listen to me when I tell them, look, I know I have issues. I know I go too far sometimes over some shit. And if y'all will just look over that, because I will come back and apologize and change my behavior and try to be better.
How do I say? Judging the action doesn't mean we condemn the person. Judging the action means we actually see hope in the person for change.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Some people will see that in me. Some people have been kind enough that when I tell them and show them, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I fucked up.
Yeah.
Sorry. That they're like, oh, it's cool. But there's other people that are just,
I mean,
just the assholes in the world. I don't know.
there are people that would put way less thought into that. I'll agree. And once
And some
again,
people too, some people you can tell that, and then when you do, like you can be like, oh, I'm crazy. Like you don't even want to deal with that when it
but
happens. And then it happens and they're like, roar. And it's like, I told you. Like, did I not tell you? I'm
or they don't
sorry.
know,
I
or they don't know
realize
exactly what you're talking about when you say
I
crazy.
realize I went too far, and they still like roar at you, and it's like, come on, like
Oh yeah, they might not
you've done
realize what
shit
you're
to
saying when you
me,
mean that, and
and I've
then when
let
you
it
finally
go.
show that,
Like just like
nah, Steffi. As far as let's say separating the actions from the person, Because once again, that's a skill that in order to see these people in redemption and healing needs to be done. Is separating the actions and then realizing that the person, by how they feel now, doesn't seem like they are what they've done. That makes sense.
Yes.
So to place on somebody that they are what they've done, this once again might just be the Christian in me talking, but that's not on my place, let alone what I believe is any human's place to do to anybody.
No, yeah. It's like,
And I mean, no matter how bad that gets, that can really test a person's version of morals.
yeah. If Jesus can forgive me for all I've done, why would I not be able to forgive anybody for anything they've done?
Now, the metaphysical of that is, if I may, you know, the holiness of that is realizing that holiness already realized what was going to happen way before it happened and already forgave it long ago.
Well, I get that, but all I'm saying is, if I can be forgiven,
Yes.
I should be willing to forgive.
Yes.
And if not, then I'm a hypocrite.
Yes, but at the same time, that's part of admitting that we're human. We aren't perfect.
Well, I mean, of course.
So, I mean, yeah, we might mess up, stifle up, and, stumble upon every now and then. But it's the fact that we realize that and then be like, I want to change, and then turn right back around and change. That's about.
Yeah.
We don't stay in the embodiment of that. We rather live for the better that's ahead.
Yeah.
At least that's what I've always been taught with how dark and deep shit can get. Is to stay in that is to be it. While to move forward from it is to truly, acknowledge and realize that sure this happened. It's not me denying empathy over it. It's me acknowledging it, if anything, and realizing that's not what wants to continue.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that I'd wish for anybody, that's a huge step.
That's what a lot of people don't see either, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah, it's
see
the reason
those
why we have
huge
serial killers
steps.
and dust and such in the world, because they do actions like that and then think it's okay to go out and do them again.
Yeah.
I mean, how do I say? It's literally to the extent of taking one of those people, seeing regret in their eyes, and truly seeing it register, and then being like, wow, you look like you just made a fucking mental change. Let's talk about that, and hopefully you'll be forgiven here by what you say about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lay up, dude. Won't you come up? Biatch.
yeah. Shit.
I think I'm gonna jump over and see what G2K's doing in a minute.
Hell yeah. Hey, I truly hope what I've had to say here tonight in the matter has actually helped, Stiffy.
It has, and I hope things I've said has helped people, because like kindness is free, bitches. Ain't no need to be mean.
But then again, we look at the pinnacle of that and how far kindness is willing to go, even though kindness has no bounds, and we draw a limit for it.
Well, I get that, and people take kindness for weakness, and but just just be better tomorrow than you are today. That's it.
Yeah.
Just be better tomorrow than you are today.
Yeah.
And it don't have to mean, it don't have to be a lot. It don't have to, just be better tomorrow than you are today. Because
see, once again, these are conversations that whether they happen naturally or I need to memorize them every day, nonetheless, that's what needs to happen. Because how do I say, with the memory and the split personality stuff, there's literally days where stuff like this doesn't register in my head, and it's fucking scary.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Where it's like, no, I know the man I used to be. And I know a person deep down that would feel care and endearance toward people. Where is all that right now? And it's not making an excuse when I say that manicness can do that to the brain.
Oh yeah.
I mean, sure, it's realization. This is the accountability, is the realization that we are more than that.
Yeah. Just,
We are more than our false comings.
just like you said, just be better tomorrow than you are today. That's just.
Oh yeah.
And
I 100% agree.
if you can't, then be better the next day than you were. Just
right.
All you need to do is love, motherfuckers. Love, even your enemy. You just
Well, yeah.
Love conquers all, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's literally the pinnacle of how deep that can go. Taking what our, let's say, human emotions tell us to feel, and then be like, you know what? That's what that's telling me to do. I'm going to override that because I have freedom to do so.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I don't blame that.
Just
stuff I've been working on every day, daily.
When you can take that hate that you feel for someone and turn it into love for them, you will understand what a power you and your higher being are.
Shit, for me, I'll be honest. It's forgetting what empathy feels like, so then I don't know how to feel it towards other people, so then other things take its place. And those things that take its place are, once again, not things that need to be around anybody.
Well, I can tell you, empathy will bring in a narcissist.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
For sure.
And that sucks for an empath.
Oh yeah, it's letting your guard down only for that guard to be abusive.
We really just want people to be better and be good people. And you run upon a narcissist and yay. Yay.
See, now, once again, how deep that can go is, it might be easy to say that, well, seems like that's understood now and clicking in somebody like mine's mind. Yeah, but only because the will to want to get better. How deep does that go?
Yeah, because I still attract narcissists. It is what it is.
Hey, can't blame that.
And I just hope that I help them a little bit along the way.
Yeah.
No matter how much they screw me up, they fuck me up and screw me over, and I still did I help them? Did I help them be a better person?
See, that's what that's about, really. And the fucked up thing is whether that's reciprocated. It should be reciprocated. Sure, treat others how you want to be treated.
Right?
But we live in a world where, once again, all of our principles are backwards.
We live in a world that's completely upside down. Up is down, and down is up, and right is wrong, and wrong is right. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump over to G2Ks for a bit.
Sorry, I was getting my phone to charge here.
Oh no, you're good.
Good to see you, Steffi. I've enjoyed our conversation this evening.
Hey, you too, Johnny. I have also.
Oh yeah. Hey, you stay well, yeah?
You too. Bye-bye. Bye.
Much love, yeah? Hell yeah. Right on, dude. Really, I appreciate that. Conversation I feel like I've needed to have for quite some time now. Whether it's with one person or the other. Appreciate that. Jesse, you're good people. Good looking out. All y'all tuning in, man. Good people. Those are the things that I want to have in my mind. Keeping things good, keeping things happy. Making sure I can remember to at least care about others. Yeah, man. And from there, hey, it's a lot more easier for me to have goals and stay in a lighter mood when things like that are on my mind. Cheers. Then the weed hits alright. I dare say. It goes into that as well. Wonder why weed might not hit some people so well. Well, it doesn't hit me sometimes so great because some of the things I might have going on. I clear some of that out, and then hey, it's a lot easier to smoke a bowl. After that fact, of course. Ah, good way to start the evening. Once again, I'm just sitting here doing a little bit of desk work. Y'all know me, getting a little bit of the artwork done. All the things, man. All the things that help keep my mind in a happy, healthy place. Speaking of which, yeah, let me see. Because I'll be honest, what I'm kind of doing is just really kind of seeing where my sketches from earlier had me out to. I get a good start on those, and I can piece them together a lot easier. Shit. In case y'all wonder what piece I'm working on now, it's the same one from earlier, that Kentaro piece. Mapping up the body and seeing where proportions are going to sit. Yeah, a second, because I think I might need some music. This one's gonna get nobody to help me get flowing with the thought here. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. Hey, once again, we're up to. Cheers to you as well. Yeah. I hope it's hitting you well tonight, yeah? Yeah. Let's focus some of that in good. There we go. Let me see here real quick. Yeah, let me look at some things. Yeah. Fuck yeah. What the interview? Picking out garments, picking out kind of an outfit for this. Yeah. See what this figure's gonna look like. There we go. Snap that out. Snap out the koi. Bring it down. And then this actually needs to be over so I can adjust that form on the beat.
The consumer products
Get it around.
solid proteins that you're looking for.
Map out the details, proportions.
Elevate the mass market and democratize eating.
Yeah.
It's very best.
Yeah. I just need to put
Mighty Word is innovation.
the elbow kind of creased into that knee or else not going to be proportion.
And it's in our DNA.
Once again, he's kind of holding this koi like this, with the knees up here next to the elbow. That's what I'm trying to see whether it's going to fit.
In makeup with the Panorama Mascara by L'Oréal Paris. Everybody's face for lips. And the NYX professional makeup.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Once again, glad I got to have that type of convo tonight. It's rare that, how do I say, even stuff like that goes into using brain energy. Rarely am I able to use that type of brain energy or adapt that much of it, which is, I'll admit, where I have some problems. Not feeling something's one thing, but not having the brain energy to let alone feel it's another. So, yeah. Good I can expense what brain energy I have on things like this, rather than manic and things like that. Unbelievable. Hang on one second. Let me see if I can my neck goes. Yeah, hang on. There we go. 11. Perfect timing. There we go. Fuck yeah.
Style and substance in the GMCs here. Current eligible GMC lessees can get this low mileage based on the Sierra elevation for Vermont.
Yeah. So we're not adding my dad on this. I need to figure out where the error is.
Oh wow, that was
There
fun.
we go. Down, around, bingo. Alright. So now I can draw the rest of the body of the koi.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hang on, y'all. 'Cause I might actually go over and join GTK as well. Stay lit, stay lit, too much love, y'all. Fucking peace. Had a good one tonight.